I don't only want you to get fondled. Okay, so you probably heard from the grapevine. Getting drunk for the first time. Oh my god, I'm hungry! Welcome back to my channel, Stinks. So if you haven't already read the title, we are talking about body recomposition. And you're like, why aren't you ready? Like, why aren't you dressed for the day? Okay, well the gag is that there's still things that I need to get done. All right, so here we are. Don't question it, don't comment on it. Just keep it pushing. So we're just gonna do like a little girl chat, okay? We're gonna keep it on the cash side when we talk about this because I don't only want you to get fondled, I want you to be educated as well here on this channel. Okay, so the big question is, what is body recomp? In short, body recomp is just the process of building muscle while simultaneously losing fat. And you know, the little stigma behind it at first, it just wasn't something that was possible because both of those goals are conflicting, right? If you want to lose fat, okay, you're in a calorie deficit. You want to build muscle, okay, you're in a calorie surplus. But to do both at the same time, it was just baffling to people. Let's say you get your body fat percentage taken and they tell you that your body fat is 30%. Well, what that really means is that 30% of the weight on your body is considered fat, while 70% is considered fat-free mass. And fat-free mass includes bone, water, muscle, other stuff like that. During a recomp, you were quite literally changing that ratio. You were manipulating that ratio of fat mass to muscle mass. And that is an amazing, transformative thing to go through where your body can literally look like you just put it through the tundras of fucking hell and we're on your shit for like 9 years after a recomp. And like, that's the beautiful thing that I love about it. That's what I feel like it did for me. And it quite literally changed my life. And I never thought that something like that would be possible for me because of how much experience that I already had in the gym prior to. Enjoy this ASMR because we are on a time crunch. Refreshing. Son of a bitch. Time for some whore paint. You already know what's up. Listen, we're not gonna act like that ASMR didn't just hit, okay? We know that it just ate y'all up. It ate me up, man. Oh my goodness. What the f am I, an editor? Okay, so you probably heard from the grapevine.
Oh, heard that through the grapevine, did you?
That beginners are the only ones who are gonna be able to successfully have a recomposition. Yes, there is truth to that, and I'm gonna kind of explain that in an easy to understand way. When beginners are in the gym, they don't need to do anything special. They don't need to have amazing training. They don't have to be 100% on top of their nutrition. That is because your body is experiencing something it has never had to go through before. I want you to think of it like getting drunk for the first time, okay? The first time I got drunk per se, I mean, it was not tipsy, plus I was up.
You been drinking tonight, sir?
No, officer. I just had a glass of dinner with my wine.
And that is because my body has never experienced alcohol ever, ever, ever. Of course, I was really, really drunk because my body has never experienced that. And the same kind of goes for fitness. You're going to have changes and adaptations really early on and your results are gonna come quick. And that's because you've never done anything like that before. You are a gym virgin. But like once you're locked in, like you're just gonna be a whore for it, I'm sorry. But I don't want you guys to be discouraged if you don't fall into that beginner category because that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't recomp your body. Again, like I'm an example of this. Now, before we go any further, okay, I wanna give a huge shout out to today's sponsor of this week's video. It is Bright Cellars. Just give them a whoop whoop, a little crowd cheer or something like that. Thank you so much, sir, before I give you a big fat kiss. Now, Bright Cellars is a wine club that pretty much believes anyone can enjoy the experience and love the joy of wine. And as a newly refined woman, and I'm not saying that like I've never drank any alcohol prior to this moment. You know, I was in college, you know, I chugged back just straight liquor, but I feel like going into this space of womanhood that like now it's time for me to explore wine. Like I feel like this is like a canon event that I have to go through, you know? So that if I wanted to host someone at a dinner party, I could. So when they reached out to me, I was like, oh my God, like this is definitely a sign from God that it was time for me to get intimate with all different types of wines from across the world. So the cool thing about Bright Cellars is that you take this 7-question quiz and it matches you with wine from all over the world, personalized for your specific taste palette. So you'll get to choose from 12 different plans. That's gonna give you 100 plus different options, sourced from 80 different wine regions, and it gets sent straight to your door. So it's super, super convenient, which is nice because again, I'm not one that likes to have quite often. Each box comes with a wine education card that outlines the tasting notes, the best serving temperatures, and even the origins. They also have a satisfaction guarantee. So if you're not fucking with your wine, like you can send it back and they'll send you a new one. That's one of the main reasons why they have over 600,000 freaking 5-star reviews. So Bright Cellars and I have gracefully paired up and we are giving you stinkers a discount code on your first 6 bottles of wine subscription, which it's usually priced at $150, but with my discount link, which is in my description box, guys, it's only gonna be for $55, which is a steal. I get for 6 bottles of wine. Like who's trying to turn up? Who's trying to have a wine Wednesday? So I want you guys to use the link below, take the 7-question quiz so that you can get started on your Canon event as well, so that we can be wine connoisseur. It's time to go to the gym. All right, it's time to commute over there and fondle our muscles. But I need to do my pre-workout drink and then also my pre-workout snack. I am actually so hungry. I had a really late start today and obviously like I'm filming this, so it's gonna take a bit. But yeah, you guys already know. Don't be surprised. All right, we're doing an Shed RTD. Please, please, please use my code TNA if you guys get these. All right, and then for pre-workout snack, you already know. Just stop opening, Jesus. Yeah, actually, I'm just gonna do these. Now, usually I do like honey and stuff, but I feel like I'm not supposed to like just kind of throw it in a bag and shove some honey in there. I feel like it would be like awkward and like just like sticky and like, you know, I don't know if I want to be like that before I get to the gym. One serving size is 16 pieces. Oh my God, I'm hungry! Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and pack a protein shake because, you know, we have to get the gains, all right? In a little bit, I'm gonna talk to you just a little bit more about why that's so important if you were trying to recomp your body. This is awkward. Okay, great. All right, we're good to go. Who's ready? So, you know, during my personal journey, right, because my little recomp was like intentional, but like unintentional because I just didn't think it was gonna work that freaking crazy. So I've been working out since 2017 and back in 2022, I've decided that, you know, I just still wasn't seeing the results that I wanted to see. I was sitting there fluctuating from being in a cut to being in a bulk and hating my experience with it because I just felt like regardless of what I did, like I wasn't able to stay consistent with it because those two extremes were just too much for me. So I did a whole bunch of research and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna try to body recomp. And in February of 2022, I changed my nutrition. I changed my thought process about training. I was super consistent, okay? Like I haven't been that locked in a minute and I was extremely motivated. My body just leaned out. I mean, I was losing fat. I had more muscle than I ever had in my life. Like my quads, I've never seen my quads come out of my thigh like that. I was like, who's that? Okay, Quadzilla, that's you. Okay, a little stinky booty. And it made me just like so happy. And I was like, I cannot believe that I did this. And I can't believe that I've been training for 4 years. And in a matter of 6 months, I was able to create the body that I've always wanted. And you know what sucked about it is that I had to be super patient with the process. Like for the first couple of months, like I was like, wow, like I'm really not seeing any changes. Like the scale isn't changing, nothing is changing for me. And it was really discouraging. And I decided to just trust the process. And I'm so grateful that I did. I wouldn't be here today talking to you guys if I hadn't. Anyway, I'm almost at the gym. I will talk to you guys in a little bit.
Sabrosa y tan dulce como un mango. Una chica de Bahía con milagros, cantita bien caro. La gallega, brasilera canta a capela. Dime en portugués todo lo que quieras. Yo te llego en cualquier manera. Send me automatic. Shoot my shot in verse until I had it. Cause your machine was cinematic. Speak to me in tongues like a fanatic. Yeah, she a fan. Me gusta bien caro. En un Ferrari bien caro. Con mucho clase caro. Con un estilo bien caro.
Okay, so I thought we'd do like a little cardio chat since this is like the worst part of my day. All right, so I guess the big question is, how do you body recomp, right? What's the magical trick? What's the thing that gets it done for you? The first thing that you want to focus on, your little stinky booty, is nutrition. Because here's the thing. Typically, you're going to be in a calorie deficit, okay? But you're not going to be in as aggressive of a deficit as you typically would be during a cut. If it's too low, you know, you won't be able to stimulate muscle growth. So you kind of want to find that sweet spot that's going to not only allow you to burn fat, but also maintain the muscle that you already have, also allowing you to build muscle. So if it was me and I was starting fresh, I would recommend going and doing 10% less than your maintenance calories. Okay, and that's around 200 to 300 calories less than what you typically do. All right, the next thing that we want to focus on is your protein intake. Okay, when you were doing a recomp, and even if you're doing a regular cut deficit or whatever, you want your protein to be really high. Okay, and the reason for that is if you're eating less and you don't have as much energy sources for your body to kind of take away from, it might potentially start taking away from the existing muscle on your body, and you don't want that, okay? Because again, the goal is to retain as much muscle as possible and also build it. And the same again goes for a cut. You wouldn't want to have a low protein diet when you're cutting because you're going to lose some of that existing muscle. And obviously, you know, if we're trying to have these thick, juicy dumpies, we don't want to lose that during this process. We really just want to fucking grow it. The next thing that you kind of want to focus on is training, and specifically effort. Programming is really important and it helps progressively overload, but all in all, it comes down to effort, and that's where a lot of you guys, and where I was for a really long time, falling short at. You really want to be training closer to failure, and I mean 1 to 3 reps shy of failure, because you have to still provide enough stimulus to require your body to change. And if you don't, then you might be doing all of this for nothing. All right, I'm definitely tired. Finally, and I feel like this is the one that's most slept on, and yes, pun intended, is sleep. You guys need to prioritize sleep. Like, if you are sleep deprived, I promise you, you are less likely to grow muscle, more likely to store onto that fat. Sleep is so important, and if you can, try to get at least 7 hours a night. And if you're saying that you can't, you need to, again, this is your health. Sleep is like one of the most important things in your health, and so you need to start moving around before you get up, and you're confused why you're doing everything right except for that, and you're still not seeing the results that you want to see. Okay, so I was gonna go home, okay, but I'm not gonna lie, it's 3 p.m. I haven't had breakfast, and I have like a 30-minute drive home. So I just thought that we would just kind of, you know, order a sandwich. And guys, I got a turkey sandwich because obviously like turkey is pretty high in protein, but I'm not even into turkey. Like, that's not even my choice of meat, okay? And you guys already know how I feel about flaccid meat. It just throws me off. I'm not much of a fan. I don't know, this looks pretty good. I got some avocado in there. I'm about to put my whole foot in that. I do want to give you guys like some realistic expectations when it comes to recomping, right? Because I don't want to set anybody up for failure. Now, without proper guidance, recomp can be difficult, I'm not gonna lie. And it's okay if you don't know what you're doing. Like, everyone is going to be a novice at something. Not everyone is going to be great at something, and that's okay. That's the whole purpose of learning. If that is the case, then I recommend you getting help or getting a coach. Now, I have just recently opened up my slots again for one-on-one training, and my specialty is recomp and fat loss. And so if you guys want to have a conversation, check out the link in my description box and we'll hop on a call, and then we'll just kind of figure out exactly what we want to do. The reason why this journey can be so difficult is because when it comes to recomping, you have to use different metrics than you would when it comes to bulking or cutting. You can't look at the scale as much because it's not going to change like that as you would expect during a cut or a bulk. It's going to stay relatively the same. And some of the other metrics that you'd have to look at and that you'd have to analyze are, you know, looking at pictures, feeling how your clothes feel, you know, do they feel the same? You know, looking at your measurements, checking on your strength, looking at stuff like that, like, have you progressed in that area? And if you have, then great, okay, we're on the right path. But if you haven't, then there might need to be some things that you have to tweak. And also, you know, this isn't like a 1-2 month fix. This is something that you do for 3 to 6 months, and then you kind of go back into maintenance, and that can be difficult and trying on you because it's something that you have to be consistent with. And if you're not consistent with it, then it might not even be rewarding at that point. Like, it might not even be worth it. And so if you do choose to recomp and you were really committed, then like, go for it, because I promise you the results, buddy, the results are astronomical. Okay, they're fantastic, and like, I wouldn't have it any other way. But if you are not in that space to do that, you know, it's okay. All right, anyway, that is all for this week's video. I hope you guys learned something from it. If you didn't, your mother's a whore, and open your fucking ears next time. If you guys haven't already, please like and subscribe. We are 100K strong in the cult. We're gonna take over the world. Don't tell anyone. Keep it a secret. Keep it a secret, but that's what we're gonna do. So, bye.